Okay. Hello, students, mentors, teachers, educators. A very warm welcome to the session number 11 of Tinkerpreneur 2025. This is very important sessions since you have undertaken already the AI skills. You have also undertaken the create the business model, learning resources. You have also undertaken the business finances. Now we are moving up on how to reach the audience, how you can create your own digital marketing campaign. And this is very important since you have developed your product and since you are at that stage where you need your audience to cater for. And we have a very special guest, Mr. Sandeep Gupta. Very warm welcome, Mr. Sandeep, for this very exciting session. So, Sandeep, will hand it over to you for the next 45 odd minutes. And in the last 10-15 minutes, we will take the Q&A which will be coming on the YouTube live chat. Okay, so over to you, Mr. Sandeep.
All right. So good afternoon, everybody. I hope I'm audible to you. Perfect. Okay. So today we will be talking about trends in marketing campaigns and opportunities that you never knew existed. So you know what? A lot of things that we buy today don't just happen by chance. There is a lot of thought that has gone behind it. So the best marketing is not just about selling. It's about psychology. It's about storytelling. It's about design. And most importantly, you have done a lot of sessions on artificial intelligence and technology. There is a lot of technology that is being leveraged today for marketing that you do not even realize. Right from the ads that you skip on YouTube to influencer reels and what you watch on Instagram, everywhere that you go, there is some kind of a thought process that has gone behind it, which is very deep thought process. And understanding that is what is marketer skills that we will be talking about as we go along in this presentation. And marketing used to be one-way street earlier, but nowadays it is all enveloping. It is very discreet. It is something which is very subtle. And that has started happening without you realizing that you're being marketed to. Marketers are getting, your share of mind and your share of attention. So unlike where traditional marketing was, it was newspapers, hoardings, flyers, cold calls, which was more of a one-way street communication. Today's modern marketing is digital, it is interactive, it is personalized. You would have heard of a term called the market of one. So there is so much of data out there which is being captured, which is being harnessed, that there is a possibility to do very specialized outreach to your audiences. And on the other side, we are also being targeted by marketers like that. It includes things like memes, which a lot of us, at least my generation would not have even heard of it, but today that's all the rage. Instagram filters are there, WhatsApp broadcasts are there. There are influencers who've made a career out of this. And of course, AI, which is all pervasive, is also kind of very deeply being used in marketing today. The focus has shifted from just shouting out a message to creating a conversation. It is a discussion, it is a conversation. How do you engage with your audience without them realizing that something is being sold to them? So that is what it is all about. It is about grabbing the attention, building brand loyalty, creating word of mouth, emotional connection, and in blitzkrieg kind of a way, very fast. It cannot take time, it has to be done in a real time manner. So that is where you go from old school to new cool. So that is where marketing has shifted. And if we were to do our own startups, which all of you I'm sure are aspiring to do, this is something that you should always kind of take thinking. So again, to kind of the hottest trends in marketing right now, of course, it's not very random what you see whenever you open up your Netflix box, what is being proposed to you, or even if you open your web browser or anything for that, the windows that pop up for advertisements are very well curated. They know what you're looking for. So there's a lot of cookies that are there on your systems. It is like, AI powered personalization that is there. And also, what happens sometimes is they collect your data and they will kind of wrap it around a story and they will feed it back to you to create an emotional connect. Like I mentioned before, there are people out there who are making a career out of it. So there are a lot of influencers, specialist influencers in various fields who are not just celebs but micro influencers. Even smaller influencers are making good amount of money in this. And there's a lot of gamification happening. It has to be exciting to the consumer. It is not just something that is being dumped on you. They want to involve you. They gamify the whole experience, and that is how you're able to get the attention of the user or the person who's the potential buyer. Of course, there's a lot of AR, VR that is out there, virtual reality. So all of that is there. There is a lot of engagement that comes in with the new AI tools in everybody's hand today. There's a lot of personalization that can happen. So these are all parts of digital campaigns today, and it's very important for us to know. Also, to get very topical, all of us would have got those Zomato messages or Swiggy messages during lunchtime. You know what? This is a trigger for you, so they observe your patterns that you've been ordering lunch for 5 days, 6 days continuously, and say one day you've not ordered for lunch, a trigger will come, hey, had you had lunch? Or if you've ordered lunch and you've not ordered dessert, they will also say, would you like to have a gulab jamun or something like that? So all of that is happening today, and this is the new age marketing that is there. And of course, we are in a era of ESG. So there's a lot of social causes also that are very important to people. Sometimes these social messages are wrapped in campaigns that generate with resonate with you people, which is Gen Z. They wrap it in such a way that you would not realize that they're selling their product, but at the end of the day, they are selling their product in a very socially aware kind of a way. Again, it's more about stories. It's not about one way. It's about stories that you can create around which people kind of gel. It's the need that has to be addressed rather than information which is very boring. It's more about how do you involve your target audience into your product and make them part of your story. These are just some examples. Of course, we have seen this all around us. We understand how this works. Like Facebook is there, Spotify is that. Your own music data that you have watched on Spotify, they will create a beautiful video for you and they will pump it back to you. So it's very personalized to you, something that you like and that you have seen. So this is something that today's marketers are doing. If you were to sell a product as an entrepreneur, you should also use these tricks and techniques basically on how can you engage with your audience by giving back what they like in a very nice wrapped format, which they would also share with their friends and family and make your brand viral without any effort from your side. Again, Zomato, like I already said, it uses a meme culture as well. These are very good infographics with a very good tagline, which is funny, fast, and always in trend. So these are tricks that can always be used. Again, there is a very important part of being socially responsible as well. For example, when you have Dove's Real Beauty, it's no longer about fair skin, which is something which is not looked well upon. You have to be socially conscious. That is how these ads are designed, not to kind of rub people the wrong way either, and be socially conscious as well. Of course, the lingo, the language has to change as per your audience. So, for example, if I, which I do, I'm a financial products distributor, a fintech play. If I were to do it, I will have to wear a coat. If you were to target your kind of an audience, a Gen Z friend, then definitely, that is the kind of audience that is the kind of story that you have to build. That is the kind of persona that you have to build, both in terms of your communication out there and your marketing materials that are out there. So ultimately, you have to use a lot of creativity. It has to evoke an emotion. The timing has to be right. And this only comes if you have a very strong understanding of your audience. You need to segment them well. You need to target them well. You need to position your brand well. And, they don't feel that they're watching an ad, which is basically, that is how the marketing actually works. We don't want to be sold to, but we definitely want to be part of a story. Similarly, if you would like to attract your audience, you have to make them a part of your story, or what is it that you are pitching. Again, where do you see marketing, or in fact, see is the wrong word. Marketing is an envelope around us. So wherever you go, whether it's Insta, YouTube, every trending reel you watch is kind of something like a marketing thing. But it's disguised in such a way that it doesn't feel like someone is selling you something. And that's what it is. So Again, there are a lot of email things that come in. There are a lot of gimmicks that also come in, limited edition, sold out fast, exclusivity. So these are the tricks and techniques that marketers use. I'm not saying it's good, bad, ugly, but that is what works. And of course, it should not be misused, but a lot of these things do work when you're trying to sell. Before selling, you will have to market, create a brand, and that's what kind of gets people excited to kind of purchase what you're trying to sell. Again, there is a lot of likes, claps, things like that, emojis. So that is the lingo of today's world, and that is what drives the brand awareness as well. So if people notice it, if you see it and it sticks, it's good marketing. And sometimes, what happens, you're interacting with the marketing without even realizing that it's marketing. So just to give you a real life example along with this, if you've seen FinShots, which is a financial literacy kind of a platform. It was earlier started as a brand building awareness for Ditto Insurance, but you know what, the FinShot channel became bigger than Ditto, and that's how their brand then does not need to spend any marketing dollars. Automatically from FinShot, they've built their brand around stories. So that's what works in marketing, and you can already see it all around us. And again, there are multiple things that you need to do in marketing. It's not necessarily MBA stuff. It is creative, diverse, exploring with opportunities. So, of course, you have to be on all the social media today. Insta is there, Twitter is there, LinkedIn is there. I have consciously left out Facebook because it was there, has there, been there. So that's kind of old school now. You have to keep up with the trends. You need to have very good content or copyright. Again, this comes with the audience that you're catering to. What kind of an audience are you catering to? You'll have to design your content according to that. You have to strike an emotive chord with your audience. It cannot just be, something that used to work earlier. The audience has to get engaged with what you're kind of presenting to them. Again, things like memes are there. It's real. Some brands just hire for memes. There are people who are influencers. You could become the influencer brand of your product or service. So you need to, the company influencer can be the company's founders as well. Again, you could also tie up with certain influencers in a particular domain who already have the audiences. Again, influencers comes in all shapes and sizes. There are influencers large followings, but they're very expensive. There are influencers with smaller followings, but you can get more of them at the same price. And finally, the founder himself can become an influencer, which is the best way to kind of market because you know your brand and product and service best. There is nobody else in the market who knows it better than you are. There are, of course, a lot of digital analysis that is done. Even when we run our Facebook ads, most of our business comes from media. There is a lot of tools that are being used. There is A/B testing that is done. There is a lot of artificial intelligence that decides which of the collaterals is being put out. When we run our meta ads, we give them 15 to 20 creatives. The meta itself kind of chooses depending on the traction and the amount of time people hover over the ads. They themselves help us in that, and we keep refreshing the message because people get tired of seeing the same thing. So there's a lot of analysis and digital that has come up in marketing today. That was not the case a few years back. So whether in today's world we cannot say that digital is a skill that is separate. Digital is a skill which is an innate part of all job roles and all job functions, and marketing is no different to that. Again, you need to have a very keen eye. Brand and design is something that is more like a taste. You need to be able to cater to majority of your customers' taste. You need to resonate with them. It's a very important skill set in terms of look, feel, color, shape, size. All of these things are very, very important when you're doing a brand design. Again, this is like, it's beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. But having said that, it is like you need to cater to majority of your customers. What kind of taste do they have, and how do kind of position your product or service to cater to their tastes and their kind of choice in that matter. So again, there are so many different things that are happening. Gamers, script writers, podcast hosts, data, all of this has come and become a part and parcel of marketing today. So marketing today is very different from what it was just 15, 20 years back. And this is how marketing is done in today's world. Of course, creativity is very critical in this. There are skills that you need. One of the biggest skills is creativity. Creativity has to be honed, and it has to be an interactive process. It has to be very simple. It cannot be very complex, because the messaging that you give out to has to resonate with most of your audience. Sometimes, if the messaging is very complex, then the audience switches off. Again, communication is very important. How do you speak? How do you write? How is your lingo? And what kind of language are you using to engage with your audience? So, like I mentioned earlier, it's a conversation that has to be generated. It can nowhere be a one-way kind of a conversation. Again, stories are more compelling than just dump. So it has to be kind of something which is interesting, something which is engaging with the audience. There is a lot of tools out there. These tools are continuously evolving. So I would say Canva, CapCut, Adobe were there in the past. Today you have Gamma, you have Octopus, you've got so many other things out there that kind of are there. AI tools are there out there. So these are all the things that all of us have to be keeping abreast of. And again, content used to be very difficult to create in the past. You had to have a video camera, a studio, recording, and all that equipment used to be there. Today, it has become much more democratized. Having said that, every few months, the technology is changing, evolving, and content, of course, both from terms of the creativity in writing the content, visualizing the content, and also the tools that are there to kind of generate that content is changing very fast. So there's a lot of stuff out there, but what is very important is what is that one thing that is going to make your audience or your customers stop and think about your product and service. We are being constantly bombarded by so much of information all across, wherever you go, there is everybody wants to kind of sell you something. How do you stand out in the market is something which is very, very critical. And that is something which, you have to do something which is different from everybody else to get that attention. It is becoming more and more difficult. Attention spans are decreasing, and the competition is growing. So all of that is there. And don't wait for it. These are things that you should start doing now. Basically, even today, if you would like to participate, don't wait for you to get a job. What you should start doing, if there is an event in your school, do participate, do volunteer, tell your teachers that, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that way, today itself, you can start on the journey to become a successful marketer. Because it's very important to develop an it's an innate skill or an innate feeling that comes in, and that only comes by practice. So the way, you learn how to walk, and the baby starts learning to walk, and you never know when it starts running. It's similar in anything that you want to do, just start doing it. Once you start doing it, you will become better at it. You don't need fancy degrees for this. You don't need to wait. Start doing things. Doing is the best way of learning. And so that is something that is always there. What you can try right now, if there is some event in your school that is happening, try doing a mini digital campaign for it. Or even if not, between friends, you can try to create, a campaign. You can try to compete on it. Think of your best idea that you have. It could be a little wacky idea as well. Anything goes. Try to create a campaign on it. You all are on socials, I'm sure. Try to put it out there. Record a reel. Lose your camera shyness. Try to record a reel. It could be any subject under the sun. Just go and do it. Once you start doing, you will start learning more. Record a reel, talk about something you care about, do an unboxing of a product or service you like. Also, try to analyze, think intelligently. Whenever somebody you see anything there, start thinking about it. Hey, why are they doing this? What is it that they were trying to do? So try to go behind the scenes, read between the lines, understand what is being fed to you, so that you can also create a gut feel or a muscle memory more intelligently. Hey, this is what the purpose for showing me this was. So it may be a very socially conscious thing that is coming on, but at the end of it is a hook for a brand that you may not have realized, but subtly someone has sold you something. So those are things that you need to analyze about, brands that you like, the pages that you see. You could do a meme page, meme contest. Just between friends, you can share it. Basically, you don't need any permission from anybody to start learning marketing. All that you need is curiosity and creativity. So it's been a little long monologue from my side. I'm going to end it here. Happy to take questions. But the final message is marketing is where creativity meets psychology, technology, and strategy. It's one of the fastest growing career spaces. In fact, all of us are marketers in our own right. Right or wrong, we cannot avoid marketing. Marketing is everywhere. You know, in all kinds of life situations, marketing is all around us. For entrepreneurs, especially, beyond numbers, numbers will only get generated by good marketing. So, and take up what you like and start practicing it, whether it's writing, editing, designing, talking, planning, analyzing, whatever it is, try it out. Over time, you will kind of get better at it. So that's about it from my side, and I'm happy to take questions now. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep. It was very precise and helpful. We have in total four questions. Okay, I'm just taking it up one by one. The first question is, for the first time founders or innovators like us, the students, how can we identify our target audience before even starting a marketing campaign?
No, no, absolutely. So one of the very important tasks that you asked is identifying your target audience. So if you try to cater to the entire market, believe you me, you will fail. So it is very, very important to pick your battles, choose your battles, and select the segment that you will be catering to. So let me give you a few levers. So first of all, what you have to do is there are something called as mind maps that have to be created. Whatever comes to your mind for your product, for your competitor's product, just paint that entire picture. Then identify which are the most important attributes of your product or service that you feel are adding value to the life of your customer. Then you make grids on that, XY axis grids. Make 8, 10 of those combinations that, hey, okay, let me give you with a live example to kind of paint a picture. So, for example, let me paint you a picture of what we do. So, in my company, it's a little complex product, it's a financial product. It is an investment product called alternative investments. So if I were to paint how is alternative investments different from, or how is alternative investment fund different from mutual funds? How is it different from direct equity? How is it different from futures and options? So what are the criteria that come in any investments? So the two main criteria are always risk and reward. So typically higher the risk, the better the reward that comes. But that is one of the criteria. But along with the risk comes something called as, volatility as well. So that becomes another thing. Ticket sizes, lock-in periods, returns, coupons, capital growth. So, of course, this was a little complex subject, but to give you an easier example, once you do 2 by 2 grids of all these factors and you paint that in all these factors, how are you different from your competitor? You will be able to identify a white space. And that is the white space where you should identify a product or service which can pitch in there. And you should be catering to those people who look for that white space, who want that kind of an attribute of your product or service. I hope this was helpful. If I had a paper and pen or a whiteboard, I could have drawn this better. This would have been a little better visually, but I hope I've been able to get my point across.
Yes, Sandeep, they do. The second thing is they are asking, can you share an example of a simple but a powerful campaign that went viral? And if possible, what made it work?
Sure. So I would like you to just give me one example of a viral campaign, and I will analyze it for you right now. In the meantime, we can take the third question as well.
Yeah, surely. Uh, I'm just reading it. Okay. So, with limited or no budget, because we are just driving it at home or at our schools, what free tools or platforms would you recommend to create an effective digital campaign?
No, no, absolutely. So whatever you have yourself, at home, you have your Facebook pages, you have your Insta pages, you have your LinkedIn pages, you have your WhatsApp groups, you have your Telegram groups. So you should use your own creativity. There are a lot of online creativity tools. You should start putting it out there. Even if you start small, I understand a lot of us are students and in school itself. So start selling something. It will give you muscle memory. So whatever it is, sell it to your friends. Try to understand why are they buying it, why are they not buying it, what are the attributes. You part of multiple WhatsApp groups, will be part of your Insta pages are there. Put up campaigns over there, put up reels over there. See how it does. So this is all available to us without any cost today. Even large companies don't pay much if they do it very, very
Yeah.
effectively. Sometimes you don't need to pay for it. These influencers are actually shooting reels all for free. Today, every one of us is a videographer. We've got access to very good cameras on our mobiles. We are ourselves designers, and this doesn't cost anything. But pick it up, and not necessarily from a business perspective. It could also be anything else that you would like to pitch. Start creating, become a creator, join the creator economy. And today, there is completely democratic access. Unlike in the past, where the TV and the radio were the only thing that were available to us, digital media is much more democratized and is available to all of us.
Surely. For the last question, means there are many suggestions, but two of them are Nike's Just Do It campaign. Okay, and the sneakers key, okay, whenever you are hungry, you are different. So
No, no, absolutely. See, what is it that they have evoked? So what are they selling? So I'll give you an example of what does Nike do. So for example, if someone asks, I would love this to be an interactive session, but unfortunately it's not. If you ask a question to an audience, what does Nike do? What would the answer be? Nike is not a shoe company, by the way. It does not manufacture shoes. 100% of Nike's manufacturing is outsourced. These are all sweatshops in China, Vietnam, Pakistan, Bangladesh that manufacture the shoes. And the manufacturing of the shoe is at a fraction of the cost of a Nike. What does Nike exactly do? Nike is nothing but a marketing and branding company. So, on one side, they simply pick up a product at a very fractional cost of what they sell it at, and they basically are evoking emotions, and they don't say, hey, buy a shoe, or this shoe is comfortable, or this shoe has got a padding. They don't talk about the product features at all. They completely divert you. Just do it. That is an emotion that they've evoked, that it's about sports personalities, it's about the best athletes that are using it, it's about grit and stamina that is being built. It's a storytelling 360-degree story that they've built around the brand, which believes you to lead to them that, hey, this is the best shoe available in the market, and this is the best company that can make the shoe. But honestly, they don't manufacture the shoes. Basically, they just give the design specifications, and there are third-party contract manufacturers who design that shoe. The same shoe can be made available at a fraction of the cost in the gray market, and the gray market is nothing but the same shoe without the Nike brand. So that's the power of marketing. It is a very good example that you've given. The emotions have to be evoked, the story has to be evoked. People have to aspire for that product, and it has to be like, I need this, otherwise, I don't have a life. So that's the same thing that an iPhone does or a Nike does. Of course, yes, there are some product features that they do have. Some design does help, but most of it is marketing and branding.
okay, okay. The last question, Sandeep. I'm just reading it. How can AI help? Because this is AI-based entrepreneur. How can AI help in optimizing the digital marketing efforts for the young innovators like us?
No, 100%. See, whether you like it or you don't like it, AI is already there in our life. So even when you start marketing on Insta, your AI automatically, Insta itself has built in AI over there. Again, there's a lot of testing that happens through AI. There's a lot of content creation that happens through AI. There is a lot of response levels that can be tested using AI. So AI, whether you like it or not, is already deeply embedded in marketing. Even 5 years, 10 years back, AI was there without it calling it AI, but it was always there. If you visit any page, say for a holiday, wherever you go, automatically it is being kind of followed there. The tools are all there. We understand it's just for any and every function that you need to do for marketing. Today there is an AI tool available which can do it much faster, better, and much cheaper as well. So that's all over there. So that's about it from my side, because I don't need to tell you about the tools. It's all available out there.
Sure, Sandeep. I guess we end here. I can't see no any more queries. But they are asking, can they email you at the later stage through us if they have anything regarding this session? Yeah,
No, absolutely. Feel free to do so. Would be happy to directly be in touch with
surely,
anybody.
surely. Thank you, Sandeep. We end it here. And just to reiterate for all the students, this is session number 11. We have two more sessions left. Session number 12, which is happening on Monday, and the season finale at 15th of July, where we will end the skilling part of the Tinkerpreneur. And from 16th July onwards, you will be able to submit your projects through a pitch deck and a pitch video. Stay tuned for more guidelines on that. And we end it here for today's session. Thank you.